Oh my god, the internet, the spiders got both of them. Help, run, run, run. Just cut it right there. Just post that.
Do you know, I was about to reel it in.
I know. That's how I had to crash land it right there. Spike the ball. Yes.
Yeah.
I was an asshole, but it was funny at the end.
You succeeded.
Fuck my life.
Live another
No.
day. Sleep well, asshole. They'll likely kill you in the morning.
So true. Good evening. It's Tuesday, May 17th, 2022. Welcome back to BoomerRexTonight, your nearly daily source for news and politics. I'm RisenLadyHeathen, and so what's up? It's our show from other Millennial news podcasts.
I don't know. Hopefully 20, 30 feet.
We have a boomer, and not just any boomer. We have Mr. BoomerRex himself.
Good evening.
You two eat, sleep, and breathe politics, and I'm learning that's 3 unique perspectives we share, along with the facts from our literal round table.
I look every time to confirm the table's round because I am fucking dumb.
Dumb as a brick.
I know.
Dumb
It is
as
round.
dumb.
I know. Every time, whatever table we're at, and it is. And I'm always like, oh, let me
All right, so at the end of the show, I have a couple interesting articles I want to share with y'all.
Cool.
I didn't find anything. The news has been so kind of blah, and I don't know. I might
happens.
I might have to circle around back to some things that we promised to do deep dives on that we never did
Okay.
to find something to discuss. But one of the things that I do want is at some point while we're chatting, I want you to look up
So now.
the bodily autonomy of a dead person, and we'll discuss that later.
Yep.
All right, let's dig right into our headlines. Researchers found 830 million year old microorganisms alive?
Well, we're not sure they're alive yet, but what they found was some 830 million year old halite. And so using non-invasive optical probing, right, they're splitting off little pieces, and they found some fluid inclusions.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, just water that was trapped when the crystals formed. But they also found out that inside some of these inclusions, there are, little microorganisms, bacteria, algae, fungi. And so now they're wondering if some of those could be alive. And I just want to go back, not long ago, they had this corpse, right? They had discovered at Notre Dame, which was all bottled up in lead.
Yeah, no,
and they were gonna,
yeah,
they were gonna open it.
What's Dracula up to these days?
Wait. Did they ever open it, or was there an outcry enough that told them to not do it, and they said, no, we're not going to do it?
Maybe the results were so bad they're not telling us.
You ever heard from France?
Yeah.
Well,
I haven't heard from
got it?
France.
Oh, somebody in France.
No,
had
but I
it.
mean, like,
Assume
who
it's in the
has,
middle of the zombie army.
who has their hands on the sarcophagus?
Please be a zombie army. No clue.
The curators and the scientists associated with Notre Dame.
All right, I'd be more concerned if the church had their hands on it. So.
Well, they
You would
certainly
take a
will have
phone
something
call.
to say about it.
The Swiss Guard shows
Right.
up. It's theirs. It was found in their goddamn house.
So here we go. Here's another chance, right? So this stuff it's been encapsulated in halite for 830 million years. Let's open it up and see if any of
It's
it
drinking
is.
goddamn glacier water.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you humans?
Oh.
Stop licking the doorknobs in newer, fancy, more expensive ways.
Haven't they been finding like some real weird, like
Unless you can
old
get a zombie army.
old versions of plague and such in the defrosting?
Oh yeah, the early
permafrost?
viruses and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about viruses that we have not had an encounter with. In this case, with the France thing. Since when was it again?
Yeah.
Like that's a long time.
Well, and there were places we knew above the Arctic Circle, right, that plague killed. And so we have gone out and dug up bodies that have been frozen for 300 years.
With hypermurder plague.
Yep. To recover these early samples of plague to see how plague has evolved.
I should get a sticker because I
Okay.
really want to say like random science person's name and blame them. Except
Yeah.
that's how I get a sticker.
No, I get that the science people have to do science, but fucking stop poking things. Do you want to get a plague? This is how you get the plague.
No, I told you one view of the universe is the universe was just kind of tossed together in an afternoon. And we keep doing all this science and saying, well, now this isn't consistent with the results I got 2 years ago. And then the universe has a few weeks to figure out how to modify itself to make those results consistent and so forth. And again, one of these days, the universe is going to say, oh, fuck you. I'm just done. You run it.
You do whatever you
And
want.
everything is going to come apart.
Just fucking whatever you want. No, I don't believe that because I believe there are alien races out there somewhere far more advanced than us. So I'm sure that everything
think
we've
they're gonna
looked at,
help?
they've already fucking done.
So,
My point is the universe.
well,
is
except their
already-
pathogens won't look anything like ours.
Not unless shit's really weird.
Yeah.
Then you can get me to believe in a god. You find a life anywhere the fuck else that runs on the same chemistry model we've got?
It'll run on a similar model,
Sure,
just
yeah,
because carbon is so
Along the long
useful.
rules we understand. I mean,
Yes.
but there are a handful, the proteins. If we can eat it, I have some fucking questions.
Yeah. Is how did it get here?
No, that's why I like how the Skippy book.
That's what I'm.
Yeah.
All right. China Eastern jet deliberately crashed. Tell us about
So
it.
you remember the China Eastern jet that fell out of the sky from 37,000 feet?
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw the headline that it deliberately crashed. What's going on?
So anyway, the flight data recorders were recovered from the site and sent to the U.S. And so now some unnamed U.S. investigators are saying that someone on board deliberately crashed the aircraft,
Well, good job.
which was, there are half dozen other examples of aircraft just literally falling out of the sky.
How many of those
And-
didn't pay for the upgraded package so it works?
Um,
No, I get to say that whenever I want to Boeing.
yeah.
No, that should have been a free
like-
upgrade from Boeing. The fact
This
that
is-
they charged for it is
This
insane.
is vaguely better. Before this, it was me giving him shit for selling guns out of the back of a van, basically.
No, that'd be like Windows giving
They had an
everybody.
end user license problem.
That'd
Well,
be like
end user problem.
Windows giving everybody something that doesn't work and not fixing it like we.
Oh, wait. Anyway.
Vista worked for me,
isn't that
motherfuckers. I don't know
fucking-
what all your problems are. You just don't have good enough computers.
At
That's
least-
your problem.
Your computer could run Crisis.
At least a couple of the 6 or so examples of airplanes falling out of the
Yeah.
sky are clearly, the aircraft was directed to fall
Yeah.
out of the sky, right? Whether it was
That
a pilot,
plane went
who
exactly where it
knows?
was pointed.
Exactly.
No, my computer. That worked.
But it's also possible, especially with modern flight control systems where you're so dependent on the instrumentation, that the aircraft can lie to you in ways that encourage you to get into a high-speed, high-altitude stall. And from there, you just fall out of the sky. So, anyway.
Seems
But
dumb.
again, there are U.S. investigators who are saying the aircraft did exactly as commanded.
How
So-
is it we did better when we had just wires and, like, coffee? And we did poorly differently.
Yeah. Now, there were other ways to die.
Yeah.
No, but
I'm not advocating we go back there. I'm not a Republican.
yeah. So anyway,
I don't even like playing video games set in the 40s.
an interesting thing would not be particularly surprising given the previous examples of stuff falling from a great height,
Yeah.
where more than a third of it was suicidal.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Well, and those are the worst ones because there's very little infrastructure you can build up. You can do mandated reporting if you want to
Yeah.
lower the number of your guys taking advantage of your company's right health policy. And when it comes out that none of your people do because they know they'll get snitched on, you're going to get slapped in the media anyway.
right.
Retired colonel speaks out on Russian TV.
So there's video of this,
Yeah.
right?
Good video.
So
Everyone
here's a
can watch it.
retired Russian colonel telling
the truth.
telling the truth
That's
on Russian national TV. In fact, on a program they call 60 Minutes. So I assume this is a
Stay out of fourth floor fucking buildings, man.
yeah. Anyhow, it's a twice daily talk show on Russian state. Lots of studio discussion. Typically, it promotes the Kremlin line on absolutely everything. Anyway, you need to watch the video. Find one that's got, captions.
Hey, send
Right.
me one. I'll put it up on BoomerRex.
Okay. Asshole can send it to you. He's
No.
got it.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's in the
Yeah.
chat. Anyway,
So go to BoomerRexTonight, no spaces on Facebook for that link.
so anyway, Mikhail Karandanok, a military analyst and retired colonel, painted a very different picture from what Putin and Putin's little friends have been. And he said, look, it's clearly going to get worse, right, as Ukraine receives more and more modern weaponry from the West. And he said, the Ukrainian army can arm 1 million people. And they're saying, well, they aren't professionals. And he said, it doesn't matter they're not professionals. They want to fight for the Ukraine. And they're going to be really, really unpleasantly competent because they won't give up.
Did you see his description when he was asked about they were talking about how easy it was going to be?
Yeah.
And that, yes, in 2014, when Ukraine was a splinter of the Soviet model, they're not. And he even identified that they were going to be fighting using Western tactics and weapons and
with some real commitment.
How bad do you feel right now if your army is Warsaw model? You just saw how they go apart now.
Yeah.
And there is no defense.
Yep. So anyway, he notes their desire to defend their motherland is very strong. And frequently, victory on the battlefield is determined by the high morale of the troops who are spilling blood for the ideas they believe in and will fight for.
Everyone they kill here doesn't go further down the road. Fuck everyone who shows up.
He says the biggest problem for Russia's military and political situation is that they're in total political isolation. The whole world is against us. We don't want to admit it, and we need to resolve this situation. It can't be considered normal when there's a coalition of 42 countries allied against us, and our resources, both military and political, are limited. So anyway, he got up right on his hind leg. Oh, and you should have seen the little Putin girl who kept trying to interrupt him and talk. Well, they're not professionals. I've seen the shit you sent to Ukraine.
Yeah.
Right? Those are floor sweepings, you Russians. You sent...
Well, whose is his great line about the Republican Guard? They're the ones with boots.
Yeah, this was very similar to that.
Yeah.
Right?
But don't get me wrong, we managed to fucking clusterfuck a rock into, the problem.
So anyway, you've got you
did
sent an army that was unprofessional, largely untrained, badly equipped, and you bought your tires in China and got exactly what you had coming.
Here's my thing. Russia, weren't those tanks wasn't that shit supposed to protect you from China? Did China send you a load of bad goods, knowing that would be what they were facing against?
Yep.
Are you really sourcing out of a country you might be invaded by?
And how long have
We're
you known?
lazy and fat. You know what we're not doing? Invading fucking Russia. You had to have fires under your planes in World War II to keep them warm enough to fly, and you fucking did it.
Yep. So anyway, how long have you had jack-in-the-box tanks and you did nothing to fix it?
Yeah.
So anyway, kind of cool.
Or at least that's the story.
We'll see what happens to the colonel. Well, I've seen an awful lot of jack-in-the-box Russian tanks. So, there are...
Did we find out if he really did come up out of air defense?
I searched and couldn't find anything. So.
All right.
I can't find the good thing you wanted me to find about corpses and women.
No. I just want what a corpse.
What can you do to a corpse?
What can you not do to a corpse? That's all I want.
Yeah.
Just that.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Plot to blow up Democratic headquarters exposed.
So anyway, fellow named Ian Rogers, right? Some very talented mechanic and Napa Valley business owner. And so in the weeks after Joe Biden was declared the winner, he started sending ominous texts to someone he trusted. He said, okay, bro, we got to hit the enemy in the mouth. And so the day after Thanksgiving, that chatter turned into a plan. And they started sending text messages back and forth about how they were going to do, burn the Democratic headquarters in California. Well, it turns out it's right next to the California Highway Patrol. And they're saying, well, you got to be cautious. Well, it only takes 3 minutes, right? Break a window, dump the gas, drop a match. So they texted back and forth. Their intent was, scare the whole country, right? Can you imagine CNN covering this? mean, I'll leave an envelope with our demands and intentions. And so they're declaring war on the Democratic Party and all the traitors to the Republic. They want to send a message. Yep, they want to start a movement. So, anyway, they were admitting to each other in January of 2021 that they might die carrying out their plan. Turns out, never came to that. They were arrested in January and July of 2021, respectively. They are charged in federal court with conspiracy to destroy by fire or explosive a building, etc., etc., etc. So, then Copeland faces an additional charge for destruction of records, for allegedly destroying evidence of his conversations with Rogers. So, yeah, wonderful guys.
Sounds
Right.
like it.
Yeah, sounds like typical maggots to me.
Soviet Air Defense Force.
Okay, how did you find that
71
out?
to 2000. Went to his
Okay.
Wikipedia page.
Okay.
Conspiracy theories about the avian bird flu outbreak are on the rise.
Oh, of course, because, you got Republicans, you got to have conspiracy theories.
Right.
So
Own the libs, mouth fuck a chicken. No way.
anyway, there's a whole new wave of conspiracy theorists claiming the bird flu isn't real. So, just got to beat your head against a wall,
Man.
right? Because, they're just, bird flu is fake or a bioweapon. And I understand the frustration and I understand the lack of trust. But this is real. And anyway, so you get conspiracy theories similar to those that circulated in the COVID pandemic, that it's a hoax, they're just reducing the supply.
These are the same idiots who went to a hotel and got spritzed by the air conditioning and decided it was anthrax.
Yep.
Own the lips, fuck a farm animal? Is that what this is?
That's how you I know, because I want to advocate they do something that'll increase their exposure, and that's wrong. And I'm not
Right.
going to do it today. I was good today. I get it quickly.
Or possibly force people into vegetarianism. That's an obvious one.
It's
So-
always about we're coming for
Here's
your
the-
meat and your guns.
So here's the standard, right? They're testing those animals for bird flu with PCR tests. That should give you a clue. So, fuck yes, that's how you test. But
should-
hey,
Man, you should have gone to ninth grade.
it's the dumb,
Ninth grade was really dope.
it's the dumb leading the dumber. What the hell?
Whatever. I just, it's so dumb. All right. Phony Trump electors are sued.
And they're being sued by Biden electors and a Wisconsin voter. It's been filed against the false Donald Trump electors who signed official documents that falsely stated the former president had won the 2020 election in Wisconsin.
Yeah, and they were trying to. Yeah,
So,
that's well constructed from my idiot eye.
yeah.
I'd get in that boat.
So anyway, they're already under investigation by federal prosecutors, but the suit was prepared by the Institute for Constitutional Advocacy and Protection, and it's seeking $200,000 in damages from each of them, right? In that they damaged the public trust, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And the best part of this is it'll move forward in parallel with the federal investigation. So, if I were one of those false electors, I would turn state's evidence tomorrow morning. But hey, do what you want to do.
Yeah, we are not your legal supervisor.
Right.
Do not let us oppress you. I
Right.
think the state's about
Yep.
to do the shit out of that.
Anyway.
All right. Boomer Rex is about damn time. Please tell me
good.
the
We
good
found-
news.
We found a light switch.
Light switch.
I don't know. What the hell did the
To turn
Democrats
them
manage
off.
to vaguely get right?
Oh, no, nothing.
Block them from putting their
Nothing.
pants on.
29-year-old man in Florida was taken into custody for misusing the 9/11 system after he repeatedly called the emergency hotline to demand that Joe Biden be arrested and that El Chapo be freed from prison.
Right? That
Right.
was a weird intersection.
Yep.
That was not what I expected his demands to be.
Anyway,
El
he was
Chapo
told
needs out. But
he was told not to call 9/11 unless it was an emergency,
Fair.
but he called back more than once to complain about the same issue. So when deputies arrived at his home, he once again insisted to officers that El Chapo needs to be freed and President Biden needs to be placed in prison. So anyway, They noted that alcohol may have been involved.
No, that's Coke or something. He was on
Right? What
something
the fuck?
harder than
The
alcohol.
fuck do you and El Chapo want to talk about?
I don't know. But his bond was set at $150. It's just nice they went out there and
Yep.
fucked up his evening.
Right? Yeah, don't call 911 like that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't tie up 911 services. That's fucking.
That's not
don't
even a
do
good
the
form of-
crimes.
Yeah, it's not even a good form of protest if that's what you were doing.
All right, dumbass of the day.
So now you got good old Cancun Cruz wandering around talking about
Cancun Cruz,
how he hates
TNCR.
people to-
That's ours.
I love it. How he hates people who knuckled under to Trump, right? So you remember, Trump gave him the nickname Lion Ted, suggested that his wife was ugly and his father was part of a conspiracy to kill JFK, just on and on and on and on. So now he's condemning GOP candidates who are kissing Trump's butt in hopes of an endorsement, despite the fact that, so here's the deal, Ted. You need to wipe the shit off your lips before you accuse somebody else of kissing Trump's butt.
Yeah.
So, anyway, standard thing. You know, they've all caved to Trump. So I'm not in the habit of supporting people. Yada, 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 yada. And then he went out and got on his knees. And so, anyway.
Oh, fun. All right. GOP candidates unleash wave of ads targeting transgender rights, because of course they are.
Well, that's their big thing right now, right? And, you know, remember that a big part of that is, as always, the ick factor, right? Is
They're
that,
banking on the fact that Americans haven't had a lot of experience with transgender people.
right? Don't know any.
Yep. So what
Yeah.
they've seen on TV is, right, it. And
Yep.
a lot of their consumption's not great.
Right. And so, you know, it's a good thing for the Thuglicans, right? I mean, it
Well,
hits
they can't
so many of their, go ahead.
They can't spit straight at the gays.
Right. So anyway, it gives them something to talk about that many people who don't have much experience in life find disturbing. And, you know, again, it's they don't know any gay people or transgendered people.
How do you not know
And so-
gay people? I get not knowing transgender people, but how do you
They
not
don't
know
know
a gay
they
person?
know gay people.
Right.
They fucked up their early interactions and
They're on the
put
list
on
of
the
people you
outside.
can't trust. Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
That I could see, but I promise you, you all know gay people, whether they admit it to you or not.
So in all, 21 candidates and political committees have spent $4.5 million on TV ads that ran in various media markets in 16 states. So just, you know, standard thing.
Yep. Gotta find a them.
Yep. Well, and this is a really convenient them for the Republicans,
Okay.
right?
Other
Because-
people are already primed from, right, the religious angle to the rest.
Oh, yeah.
Like they can convert easy phrases they already know.
So anyway,
This isn't even
about what you'd expect.
Yeah, no, it's not even an upgrade to the operating
And
version
difficult to defend.
Yeah.
Other than saying these are American citizens too.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Yeah.
Yeah. Who the hell do you think you are?
Yep.
There's a reason we call you the American Taliban,
Yeah.
because that's exactly who
Fuck,
you
I
are
wish that
aligned
bothered
with.
them more.
No, that's their dream,
Yeah.
is to live in a theocracy where they can walk up and down the street and punish
Know who they're
women
in
for
charge.
having skirts above their
Uh-huh.
knees. And I guarantee you
That's
that
where
is
they'll go.
coming.
Mhm.
That's what appeals to them.
That's the only direction theocracies ever move.
And if you think that punishment is going to be like a slap on the wrist or a, you know, somebody use a camel whip on you, no, that's not how they punish women who dress inappropriately. So you'll see.
Well, and the worst part is what it will do to the rest of society, because as that becomes the norm, less and less of them are going to have any kind of resistance to it.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's not good.
No, it ain't good.
Black students in Marjorie Taylor Greene's district sue schools. MTG, you suck so bad, your students are suing your schools.
Oh, yeah. So they were suspended for organizing a protest over the killing of George Floyd. And the school allegedly forced them to wear their Black Lives Matter shirts inside out and George Floyd shirts and so forth. Meanwhile, white students were allegedly allowed to reenact Floyd's killing at Coosa High. And the white students are also allowed to wear the Confederate flag symbols on shirts and belt buckles and so forth. Floyd County schools did not offer a response. So what we have here is a bigot school board, right? A bigot school, a bigot county. And the best thing you can say is, if you can get out of the county, fuck them, walk.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and at some level, that's where right. Let's frame this around the rural side of the argument. And it's not a good one, but it'll work for this. We've gotten down to 19% of the American population lives in a rural environment. That last little thing. Here, we'll do it the other way so no one feels singled out. We've talked before, when we switch over to solar, the last users are going to be the most fucked, and that's going to be our most poor, because they can't afford the capital outlay to buy fucking solar panels and the battery systems you need to do full cord cutting.
Right, because if you don't cut the cord, you're going to wind up paying for the nuclear power plant. Whereas when I cut the cord, fuck them.
Yeah, you're going to have to pay for the 20 feet of wire that connects you to their system a lot by the end. Or your building manager will, and that's getting passed directly to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, and at some level, that's what I worry about, these dead-end uppings of the political antes, of who they're attacking and how hard they're attacking.
Yeah.
And is you're driving away what, few kids you had who were staying in the areas. And
the ones who could have helped
staying in the social networks this entails.
All right, updates with BoomerRex health threats.
This one I couldn't pass up. So, British health authorities say they have identified 4 rare and unusual cases
That's quite interesting.
Of the chicken pox.
Monkeypox. Go.
monkeypox in men who appear to have been infected in London and have no history of travel to any of the African countries where you can get monkeypox.
I didn't know it was monkeypox, but fuck yes, go monkeypox. Kill the humans.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I agree with the Martians in that video game. Kill all the humans.
Yeah.
They're bad.
All right, and climate weirding? Or
Got
we still got
nothing
more health
new.
threats? Oh, okay. All right, then that means it's my turn.
All right.
So we are going to start. Right. Okay. No, let's see. The Women's March. I think this is a good place to start. So, this weekend, for those of you who do not know, since this has been severely underreported, like I had to dig to find this information. But I have a bunch of photos here from the weekend pro-choice rally and march in D.C. This article is on the Washington
Post?
IAN.
Oh, no idea.
Washingtonian?
Washingtonian?
Something like that, yeah. So Washington with IAN at the end, .com.
Washingtonian.
Yeah. And it says, thousands angered by the potential overturning of Roe v. Wade marched to the Supreme Court. On Saturday, thousands of pro-choice advocates marched in a Bands Off Our Bodies march, put together in part by the Women's March, Planned Parenthood Federation of America, and the Service Employees International Union. The demonstration, which came in the wake of nationwide uproar from women's reproductive rights supporters after Politico leaked Supreme Court ruling, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to read some of the signs that are in these photos because they are fucking priceless. One says, think outside of my box.
I like that.
And then there's a picture of a woman giving the middle finger.
Okay.
And let's see. Regulate the ejaculate. That's a good one.
That's good.
public cervix announcement. Fuck you. Okay. Like,
Okay, very creative.
hey, Clarence, cut your dick off. Okay.
Chinese squad sentiment. And to stop reading your story about why you can't harvest sperm from dead bodies.
This is my resisting bitch face. Regulate your dick. I will not be silent so you can be comfortable. That's just a nice sentiment.
Yeah.
Your legitimacy is crumbling, and it's a picture of how would you describe that? Is that hanger on top of the columns?
It's the top of the Supreme Court replaced with a red hanger.
Oh,
Which is a good message if you want to talk to the boomers.
And it says we won't go back inside the hanger.
Which I'm not against. Like, they're around and good people, mostly.
yep. Some of them.
Don't say dumb shit.
Oh, this one, I think y'all know who this one's pointed at. I'll give you 2 guesses. Back off and drink your beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not bad.
Snip, snip, dick, spelled D-I-C-K, taters. And finally, men can't handle a cold, and they're going to force us to give birth. LMAO.
That's pretty good. I like that.
So those were fun, and I needed to share those with y'all.
I doubt that it influenced any of the 4 kangaroos on the
fuck
court.
So
But that's
these,
never what this was about.
I know.
right, but this women's march happened. There was one in D.C., there's one at the courts, there was one, they had them all over the country, okay?
This is about upping the pressure. So, the Vietnam protest didn't stop Vietnam, but they woke up the World War II generation.
Right.
who's-
Who said, why are my sons and
Yeah.
daughters dying in a war half a world away for
That
no
doesn't look
fucking
like we're
reason?
winning.
Right.
Right, if we were at least taking ground, right, this looked a
Yep.
lot more to the World War II generation like a World War I war of, no, we're going to very specifically enforce this rule and, like, this map at any price. And that's not how you do wars.
No.
Wars change maps.
Yep. Permanently.
So
Russia might want to remember that as well.
the reason why I wanted to discuss this is the fact that this was not reported. So this was reported on all those pay to read newspapers.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Well, the smart kids need to be kept complacent. They have enough money to actually make some changes.
but that is why I wanted to talk about it, because this is happening. So all you people who think that, nah, everybody's cool with this, blah, blah, blah. No, there were hundreds of thousands over the weekend out marching in all these different spaces everywhere. Okay, this happened everywhere. I
Okay.
think there was even one here in Arizona, Phoenix, Tucson. So I'm just saying, like, this was around the entire country.
Yeah.
And absolutely
Huh.
no coverage. Absolutely
This is a
not.
thing.
Nobody's talking about it.
You got a
It's just
tinfoil hat
frustrating.
question.
Yes.
You think that's why it was important to make everybody poor so we couldn't all travel to DC to just shut it down? Just be in the fucking way.
I think that was just a happy accident.
I think so. Like, again, this is the kind of thing that makes me sympathetic to the kids who careen off some exit ramp on the internet one dark night and never make their way back to the road. Because the internet has never wanted you to, and it's only gotten better. It's like, oh, here's that thing you were thinking about.
No, I tell you what. If I were a company in a red state that was going to seriously restrict abortion, I would be very, very worried about my pregnant employee who can erase all of my customer records.
There are people already armoring vehicles. I would be concerned about having my employees have to stop at those checkpoints.
Yep.
Because some of the people who they're going to stop
Yep.
aren't going to be taken into custody. And if they're stopped at a checkpoint, you know what I don't want to be? The car immediately in front of or behind them.
Absolutely.
Because if they have armor, I have no idea what they're planning that needs armor, but my car doesn't have any of those features.
Right.
All right. So remember that list I wanted you to find.
Yep.
Read to us the lists of protections that dead bodies have to list to.
The right to be buried, they're mostly considered property.
Mhm.
Yeah. I didn't find any list that's meeting the description.
So you can't take any parts. You can't.
Yeah, you can't
you
force
can-
organ transplants. You can.
Right.
They have a right to remain intact and whole.
You can take blood samples.
Mm-hmm.
You can do dental inspections or x-rays. Probably those should be part of identification. Otherwise, you're pushing your fucking luck. You can measure their weight. You can measure their height. You can take their fingerprints. And we're kind of at the end of what you're allowed to do to a dead body.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like you can't remove organs, you can't even perform an autopsy without permission,
Yeah.
or if there's foul play. So you need
Right.
permission
Yeah.
from somebody.
The
whether
owner
it's-
can sue you for disfigurement if you do anything to him.
Right.
Yeah.
Whether it's the courts that say, yes, there seems to be foul play, go ahead and do it, or it's the family that says, yes, we want to know what happened.
Yeah.
You need permission to do these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
It's a
apparently, a woman does not need to give permission to birth a baby from their own body.
right.
Oh, and a bunch of this is going to take us right into the intersection of the security nonsense we assembled. Because a lot of this is going to use personal data.
Yep.
And
I
you
guarantee
probably-
you there will be big companies that are more than happy to provide the anti-abortion folks with
past tense,
all the
that's
data they
all
want.
behind us. That has happened.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yes, we know that an anti-abortion league has the last menstrual date for
Yeah.
a city's worth of women. So
Well, that's all.
Who went
It's
to
the
Planned Parenthood.
advantage of big data. It's the
Yeah.
taking pictures of license plates, knowing they can run them because they have a friend who works in the DMV.
yeah.
But-
So anyway, the list of things you can do to a dead body is substantially the same as the list of things you can do to an uncooperative suspect.
Yeah.
Right. Take DNA, you can take blood, you can do blood alcohol, you can, you can fingerprint them, et cetera, but it's a damn small fucking list.
Yeah.
So,
No, and even if that person says on their little whatever that they're an organ donor, their family can refuse that.
Yep.
So
in most states, I don't know about all.
that is kind of the only thing that,
Yeah.
dead bodies maybe have
Yeah.
not so much of.
No,
right?
they took the couple out of the freezer in that weird chateau in France, and that forced them to get buried.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad a little bit, but at some level, I just feel like they have enough money, just bury the fucking cargo container.
Yeah.
With
But-
the refrigerator on top.
But it's that whole argument of needing permission to do things to a dead body.
Yeah.
But here's a line that we're not.
That might be a basis to challenge the laws. Is a pure and simple property argument. My body is my property. You cannot
Nope, I
direct.
got a better argument that I heard today.
Oh.
What's that?
Missouri is using an argument to try to get rid of their long-standing bill for canceling abortion as soon as Roe v. Wade is overturned.
Trigger law, yeah.
Yeah, so their trigger law they have suspended on the basis that a person has the right to end their life,
Hell yeah.
right?
I fundamentally, yes, but-
people have the right in Missouri to decide to not receive treatment, right? So that
Yes,
they
you
can,
can okay,
die peacefully, whatever. So they can refuse treatment.
You can refuse treatment but anyway, yeah. No, that's an important rule, and I carry on.
So the argument is a woman consulting with their doctor should be able to make decisions that could also end what some people might consider
Yeah.
a life.
Doctors aren't in charge, you are. Fundamental thing, I absolutely, if we don't have that, then this is fucking,
Yeah.
then I'm not talking to doctors, and
No, it was an interesting angle to
Yeah.
come at
Yeah.
this. And it's not wrong.
Nope.
yeah, because otherwise the best I've got, right, for the 2 minutes I sat here and thought about it, was force a legal argument about who's fucking who. But even then, you're getting into weird interpretive areas.
Again, I feel like if we are not going to regulate men's ability to have children, why are we regulating women's ability to
I'm
have children?
aggressively in favor.
Because the men are in charge.
So when I say stuff like that, I really don't want an answer from your dumb, stupid mouth.
Oh, okay.
Because I know what the argument is, and I agree, like, that's what they're going to say. But it really is just like...
Well, that's one of the faults in American democracy we might want to fix. So,
All right, so I wanted to end on a fun note tonight because I'm the
we got a fun
one.
note? Okay.
So I have an interesting article that I thought was fun. It is ihorror.com.
Uh-oh.
Life-sized Jason Voorhees chained to bottom of Arizona lake, written by Timothy Rawls.
Okay.
Well fucking done.
As we celebrate the date of one filmdom's most beloved titles, we thought you might appreciate the story of diver Zachary Nagy, who put Jason Voorhees at the bottom of Lake Pleasant, Arizona, twice.
I love you, buddy.
A while ago, we told you about a life-sized art project made of a certain hockey masked slasher named Jason, who was removed from the bottom of Lake Pleasant in Arizona. This story is mostly true, but there's a new twist you might be interested in. Like we said in our previous articles, Nagy made the statue in honor of Jason's watery demise in Friday the 13th, Part 6. The lake bed diorama also includes a road sign that reads Crystal Lake. The diving community thought the idea was cool and a legend was born. It wasn't until videos surfaced on Reddit of the underwater form that things got complicated. The Arizona Parks Department saw the footage and thus began their mission to remove it.
Oh.
But here's where things get murky. Our first article states that the statue had been removed, but Nagy, in a 2018 interview for Slasher Radio, says, no, he's still there. The suits just haven't found him yet.
Oh, shucks.
In fact, the artist said he relocated the body after Lake Pleasant was drained.
Oh.
They drained the lake lower than they ever have before this year, said Nagy in an interview at the time. So we ended up having to move him like two months in. So everyone thought Jason just disappeared for a little bit. He got down to like 20 feet of water and we're like, okay, let's move him back to 60 feet down.
There you go.
For now, it seems Jason is still anchored at the bottom of the lake somewhere, and divers can still visit him if they know where to look. But Nagy isn't giving anything away.
All right.
It's at Lake Pleasant, but the location I will not tell you, he said. Let's hope
So
the
much better.
Mulder wannabes at Arizona Parks Department are unsuccessful in their mission to dredge up Mr. Voorhees.
All right.
Internet, you need to go to the Patreon. I need money. I need to get a waterproof robot.
Absolutely.
No, what do you do when it fucking moves, man?
Yeah.
I am gonna kill so many. The internet is going to kill so many divers.
Can you imagine?
Fuck.
Right? Stumbling on that.
Oh my god.
Just being diving in the lake, not knowing, never
Yeah.
having heard of this, and all of a sudden there's Jason Voorhees.
Well, and all the
chained up.
media about the bodies we're finding in the lakes and
This
so
is
forth.
why we need a waterproof robot. No, the latex
look at
will
this
keep it
picture.
waterproof.
Tell me
I
that's
love it.
not cool.
Oh, yeah.
Internet, I just need a robot. That is fucking awesome.
Need a robot more than an airship?
No, I'm gonna need the airship to drop off the robot.
Okay, fine. So we need them both.
Yeah,
About the same time.
yeah. As soon as the internet wants us to be putting down an animatronic Jason that's gonna struggle and have a machete, or can take the chain off.
No, I wanted to end on a bright spot.
Yep,
After all
you
the,
succeeded.
the bad whatever.
No, that's
So-
actually right in the same place as putting a monster in one of the vault toilets. Where it's just, oh, people are gonna die.
We thought of that on the trip where we were using a vault toilet and decided that, you could do a sort of jack-in-the-box thing.
Man, just throw a robot like fish down there so it flops around.
Yeah,
What do you
yeah.
do when you hear something flop around in the vault toilet?
Oh,
I mean,
God.
obviously you're done instantly. You're hoping not to shit an organ.
Well, you
out.
do like the lady did, and you go after your phone.
No, you
Fortunately,
don't.
Her phone didn't die, so she was able to call for help.
I would get a Okay, look,
Don't
phone
go camping or hiking alone, you fucking
Phone-
insane people.
obviously costs too much if people are willing to get in a goddamn vault toilet for it.
Yeah.
Don't buy Apple.
Anyway, I still like the idea. I really do like the idea of a jack-in-the-box.
Yeah.
All right, before they start getting
We're not going to do it. So if a Jack in the Box
Yeah,
turns
no.
up in a vault toilet
I just
somewhere,
solemnly swear,
we
cats
didn't do
all
it.
and shit.
It's not ours.
It
All
was
right.
fun to think about, but
Yeah.
we wouldn't do it.
No, that's terrible.
Probably.
No, we're not gonna fucking do it. Fuck you. I will fight you. Like- all right. So we love you all, and I hope that Jason Voorhees' story kind of cheered up your
That was dope.
Tuesday
That was
blues.
dope. I like that.
Terrible Tuesdays, whatever.
Well,
I don't
that's
know what's
fun
the-
in a way that Weirdy Cylinder in the Wherever wasn't. Because the Dum Dum, when they thought there was
Oh,
alien shit.
Yes, right.
And again, part of me loves the idea. At the same time, man, they broke things.
So we love you all, and we'll see you back here tomorrow night on Boomer Rex tonight.
Like, comment,
Love it.
subscribe, send us money.
Oh yeah, no,
I need
sorry.
their ship.
I
Lots of money.
forgot to read my spiel. Let's do that real quick. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, heart, follow, review. Go to BoomerRexTonight, no spaces on Facebook for fun memes and a link to our Patreon. Give us $1. You can find us on YouTube as BoomerRex or check your favorite podcasting service for BoomerRexTonight. It can be found on over a dozen different platforms, including Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Samsung Podcasts. And hit us up on Twitter at BRexTonight. And remember, if you Google BoomerRexTonight, no spaces on Google, everything will lead you to us. So
Yeah.
Show up on Bing.
I've never used it.
Yeah.
I probably used Bing once when I
Yeah.
was like 12.
I
for
used it when they
funsies.
were competing and like, look, it's better. And it really was better. And I really don't use it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no,
Microsoft, you fucks.
that's what you get. All right, love
Your
you
mileage
all.
may vary. Summer
Bye.
season.
Good night.